Hello friends, welcome back to Greta's Travels and welcome to Ravenna. I am here with the Emilia Romagna Tourism Board and I'm going to be spending a few days exploring this beautiful city and its surrounding areas. So if you want to discover a part of Italy that isn't quite overrun by tourism and it's a bit off the main tourist radar, this is the video for you. So let's go. Located in Emilia Romagna in the north of Italy, Ravenna has a long and fascinating history, which is still visible throughout the city today. Did you know that, over the centuries, Ravenna was actually the capital of Italy 3 separate times? It's also home to 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and it's famous for its Byzantine mosaics. So we have come to see some of the most famous mosaics here in Ravenna, and we are at the Mausoleum of Galla Placidia. She's not actually buried here because she died in Rome, but the mausoleum is still dedicated to her. And come, let's go check it out. The outside of the Arian Baptistery is very simple, but it hides one of the beautiful domed mosaic ceilings that Ravenna is famous for. Built in the 5th century AD, it's one of the 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Ravenna. So this is the Orthodox Baptistery and it's home to more beautiful mosaics, and this one's actually my favorite. So they say this one's older. In theory the others are better because the mosaic tiles blend in better and it looks more realistic, more like an fresco. But I actually like that this one you can see the tiles and you can actually see that it's a mosaic. So we are outside the Chiesa di Santa Eufemia because in 1993, when they tried building an underground car park, they discovered loads of Byzantine mosaics, and so you have to go through this church to go underground to see them. Wow guys, we are at the Basilica di San Vitale, which is home to some of the best mosaics in Ravenna, and we just had the most special evening. As part of the Ravenna festival in summer, they have various evenings where they do concerts inside the Basilica, and it's just an incredible experience. So we are here to visit MAR, which is the Museum of Art here in Ravenna, and it's really interesting because there are a lot of contemporary mosaic pieces, which I didn't realize was a thing. Mosaic art is something I always associate with really old churches, but apparently it's a really popular art technique in the present day as well. And here in this museum you can see loads of great pieces by so many international artists. Ravenna is the city of mosaics, so we're about to do a workshop where we're going to make our own little mosaics. Another must-see site in Ravenna is the tomb of Dante Alighieri, the famous Italian poet, author of the Divine Comedy. Lord Byron was a famous British poet who spent a few years living in Ravenna, and today you can visit the Lord Byron Museum, which is obviously dedicated to Lord Byron. It's very interactive, very interesting. The Lord Byron Museum is very interactive, with videos that only start playing when you perform a certain action, like opening cases or hanging paintings. Lord Byron was very involved with politics in Ravenna, which is why on the floor above the Byron Museum, you will find the Museo Risorgimento, an exhibition that shows Italy's fight for independence, from the Napoleonic era to the unification of Italy. We have now come to visit the Mausoleum of Teodorico. Located just outside the city, the Basilica di Sant'Apollinare in Classe is one of the 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Ravenna. It's home to beautiful mosaics that date back to the 5th century AD and which are dedicated to Apollinare, the saint patron of Ravenna. Ravenna is only about 10 kilometers from the coast, so it's really easy to get to the beach from Ravenna. There are loads of great beaches all along the coast. Right now we are close to Marina di Ravenna, but in this video we'll also go to Cervia, to Comacchio, to Milano Marittima, and this is a very Italian summer experience. All these, we call them bagni, but they're kind of like beach clubs with the sunbeds and the umbrellas and bars and restaurants and all the services you need. But there are also free beaches, public beaches if you prefer a wilder experience, let's say. If you visit Ravenna in early June, you'll be there for Beaches Brew, a music festival that takes place at the beach in Marina di Ravenna. It's free entry, and on the first day they even do a live music parade that goes from bagno to bagno, picking up people along the way, and ends at Hana B, where the festival then takes place. We have come to Comacchio and we are doing a cycling tour to the Argine degli Angeli and Lido di Spina, and there's this beautiful scenery along the canals and the lagoon, and look at that, you can see so many flamingos in the distance. So we have cycled to Lido di Spina and we're just about to go check out the house museum of Remo Brindisi, which was a famous artist, and this was his summer home, let's call it, and he built it to be a museum, and when he passed away it's now a museum with all of his most famous artworks. Besides Remo Brindisi's art, at his museum you can also admire artworks by other famous artists like Lucio Fontana, Andy Warhol and Pablo Picasso, to name a few, as well as the house itself, which is pretty unique and was designed by the architect Nanda Vigo. So in the lagoons that we cycled around this morning, they used to fish eels, and here there is a warehouse where they used to process the eels, which has now been turned into a museum where you can learn more about the history and the fishing industry here and how they marinate eels. The big eel fishing industry is no longer here, but they do still fish some eels, and they are processed here the same way as they used to in the past, and now it's a very much slow food process. Guys, I have just found Venice, but without the crowds. We are currently exploring the old town center of Comacchio, and it's all like this with these beautiful canals and bridges, super picturesque. And there's also a museum of the ancient delta where you can learn more about the history and geology of this area. We are now going on a canoe tour in the Valli di Comacchio. So we have canoed to this casona, which is like an abandoned house here amongst the canals and lagoons. And now we're going to enjoy an apericena here and wait for the sun to go down. So we are at the Casa delle Farfalle right now, the butterfly house, and it is so beautiful. There are so many butterflies. It's a great place to visit with kids, but even if you don't have kids, this is great fun. The tropical butterfly greenhouse is the highlight of Casa delle Farfalle, with its beautiful greenery and colorful butterflies. But there's also an insect house that you can visit, where you can see insects you won't see anywhere else. So from Ravenna we have come to Cervia, which is a city just nearby, and today we're spending the day exploring the surroundings here, the city centre, the historical sites, the museums, the seaside, a bit of everything, and we'll take you to see what it's like. So we have just crossed this canal. Milano Marittima is on that side, and now we are on this side in Cervia, and we're gonna go up Torre San Michele to get a panoramic view over, you know, the city, the sea, the surrounding areas. So the city of Cervia was born close to some salt flats, so salt pans, and they have been harvesting salt here as far back as the Roman times. And you can learn all about the salt harvests here at the Salt Museum, and it's located inside an old salt warehouse where they used to store all the salt. So after the Salt Museum, we have come to explore the salt pans, and this is Salina Camillone, which is like the oldest salt pan here, and they still harvest salt here, and they do it with traditional wooden tools. From the town centre of Cervia, it's a short walk over to the beach. Here you can relax and sunbathe at one of the numerous bagni and obviously swim in the sea. Like everywhere in Italy, you can expect to eat delicious local food in Ravenna. During our trip, we ate at some amazing restaurants, like Ondina, a chic restaurant located right on the beach at Marina di Ravenna, where you can eat delicious seafood while enjoying the sunset over the sea. Or Taverna Byron, a unique venue located right next to the Lord Byron Museum, where you can taste authentic cuisine from Emilia Romagna. Casa Spadoni is located right in front of Basilica di San Vitale in Ravenna, and it's a great spot for a summer aperitivo. For fresh fish, you can also head to Circolo Pescatori in Cervia, which was born as a gathering spot for the families of local fishermen, and where you can still taste the traditional seafood dishes. And finally, Officine del Sale, located right in the heart of Cervia, an amazing restaurant where you can taste delicious local dishes, amongst which piadina. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video about Ravenna and Cervia and Comacchio, and if you did, make sure to like and comment. Let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, just let me know below, and make sure to subscribe and come back next week for a new video. Thank you. Bye.